Hey y'all, I'm going to work on layout number 1 for the RTS Scrapbooking. She's calling it baby round. I'm calling it spring round because I have no baby stuff to do unless you count this bulldog who is 2 but somehow looks like a permanent baby puppy. So what we are to pull this time is, this is a 1 photo layout. We are to use a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. From the number 1 pattern, a 6 by 12 piece of paper right here. From the number 2 pattern, a 6 by 12 piece of paper right here. From the number 3 pattern, I have a 1 by 12, which is this one right here. And the number 4 pattern, I have a half by 12 to work with. So, don't have my full plan yet. I think I was supposed to use this side, but I kind of like it more with this side to go with the deer. This was my main side on this one. This is the main side on this one, and this is the main side that I'm supposed to use on this one, but I think I'm going to flip it. So, I'm going to go ahead and see what I come up with for this layout while I watch Janet scrap away on my iPad right there. And I will go ahead and speed it up for you, and I'll come back at the end and kind of show you what I did and what I thought about it. So there are our instructions super quick once again. And other than that, Janet's going to have us go off and running and see what we come up with on our own. All right, wish me luck. So this layout was super simple to put together and very quick, as she had us start off with these 6 by 12 blocks. I decided to use this deep mulberry color of paper for my background, and you'll just see a little bit of it peeking out in my layout, but it's just enough that it brings out some of the color that is in the deer paper that you see on the right. All right, so I think I trim it down like 1/4 of an inch on all 4 sides, so like a 1/2 inch on each side, and the deer paper will stay on the right. That really light aqua will stay on the left. And you'll see that it kind of comes together, like I said, very, very quickly. And I'm sure that a lot of you have seen Janet's videos, but the first layout has 1 photo, second layout has 2 photos, third has 3 photos, fourth has 4 photos. And she gives us all the corresponding sizes of paper to cut. So it really takes so much of the thinking kind of guesswork over for you, and you just get to play with it. You see that I used my handy dandy vintage Creative Memories corner rounder so that I could just have just a little bit different of corners. I just thought that it added to the design a tiny bit. I do use an ATG gun. Is it called a gun? An ATG adhesive, well, it's an automatic tape gun. So yes, I use the ATG. That frequently makes me fight and argue with it, but today it is working just fine at this point. So this is the photo I'm using. I have picture of my youngest bulldog, Mason, and I went outside to do some yard work, and he jumped right in the wagon, and he usually has extreme ants in his pants. So he jumped in the wagon that previously my other dog got to go for a ride in, and he wouldn't get out. So I was able to be out in my yard doing yard work for about 2.5 hours, and the bulldog Mason just sat in it the entire time till he fell asleep, which was so great because I'm usually chasing him down the street while he's trying to go for walks with everybody else that walks on by. So big win there for me. And why do I have a wagon for my older bulldog? Because he was kind of an elderly dog, and he's arthritic, and I wanted him to still be able to go on outings with us. But I also want my younger bulldog to be able to get as much of a walk in that he wants to get. So I got this little sport wagon for him, and when he tires out, I put him in, and it works out. So the little one, my younger bulldog, wants whatever the other one gets to have. So that's all that is. So it's just a funny little picture of Mason in the wagon in my garage. All right, so those two strips of paper, I made them into little fishtail kind of designs, and I'm auditioning parts of this cut apart sheet to use to back my photo. And I do find a couple of the papers that I'd like to use to back it. And this is the, I think it's the Dear Lizzie Stargazer collection I used for a lot of my kit. And it was really fun because it's an older collection I've had for quite a while. And since I haven't used it in quite some time, it seemed like it was a fresh and new collection. And then, of course, when you add bits and pieces from your stash, you can, make what's old new again. So I really enjoyed using this one. And no, I wasn't using it for any kind of astronomy or anything like that, but that really deep blue works just fine for pictures of my pup. And what else can I tell you? Okay, so I did that. I do cut out this cute little pink camera. I've been doing a lot more of cutting out embellishments from my pattern papers. And with different foam tapes, or fun foam, or unfun foam, as one lady calls it, you can get the dimension of chipboard with just a flat piece of paper, and it can really enhance your design. So I just find myself doing that a lot more lately. So I did have a lot of the embellishment pack for the Stargazer collection, and I just start auditioning bits and tucking them in, and I loved that little pink ticket that is on the right of the photo, because when I did take the picture, I decided that, or not that I decided, the song Ticket to Ride started playing through my head, and nobody wants to hear me sing, I assure you, but that song started playing through my head, and it just worked out that there was a little ticket inside this collection, as well as you see right in the middle, there was a little wagon full of flowers, and I was like, well, I guess it's meant to be. There you go. Sometimes your embellishments fit what is in your head, and it's really kind of surprising. So I do go ahead and start attaching a couple things down. Sorry, I had to stop my video for a second to ask somebody to stop their incessant licking next to me. It was very loud. And I'm sorry if you had to hear any of it, but does anybody have a dog that does that weird air licking thing before they go to sleep? It's really gross. Anyway, my life is gross. Alrighty, so I am committing to where I want to put my photo down, and it's mostly a central design, and I wanted some of the block of that upper aqua color to go over the midway line, to bring all the patterns of paper together. I felt it was a lot more cohesive that way. So I just start tucking the little bits, and I absolutely love layering many, many, many embellishments together. So what I've learned from making kits, I've learned many, many things. I've always made my own kits, but when I started doing kits for YouTube or trying to stay within certain parameters, what I learned is I need way more pattern paper than I think. And yes, I'm doing this on the 4for4 series, but I do other kit series. I need a lot of pattern paper, and I need way more embellishments than I would think you would need. So I ended up, like, the first time I did one, I put like one set of embellishments in. Next time it'll be two. And I think on this one I have the better of three sets of embellishments, and I ended up needing them. I really do. Also, I like to add way more alphas than I'll need because I'm never sure which way I want my titles to be. You know, I don't know if I'm going to end up wanting a really long title with multiple fonts or how I'm going to want that to go. So I'd rather pull more and put it away than go scrambling once I kind of have my groove on crafting. I want to just sit there and be able to craft away. The piece I just cut, that navy piece with the constellation up at the top, I just really wanted to bring more of that color up there. So I do cut off part of the constellation, and I mean, I really don't know my constellations that well. So I don't really mind covering it up. I just really wanted to bring that color up to another spot on my layout. And you'll see me Frankensteining in fun foam on tons of bits and pieces. Do you do the same thing? Like, oh, I'll have pieces cut, and then I do my best to use up all the little bits and offcuts on different parts of my die cuts. I did pick up the foam squares that are at the dollar store in the automotive section. I just haven't broken them out. I took a class with the Redefine Creative and Secret Not Secret Kit Club a while ago, like a big project class, and they were included in there, and they are really, really good. But I've just been using my foam along the way. I'm sure I'll be adding those to my little stash of adhesive before we know it. So this washi, I got this in some kind of a bulk kit thing a long time ago, and it came with this two colors of this pink washi and one other one, and I swear it is the thickest roll of washi that I've ever seen. I think I'm going to be using it, like, it's probably going to be bequeathed along the way. The thing is massive. So when I can find a layout I can use it on, I definitely try to fit it in. I really want to make an effort to use a ton more of my washi. I want to use more of my mists. I want to use more of my stencils. I want to use more of my stuff. But that goes along with me having a great love of more is more in my scrapbooking layouts. Every once in a while, I have a cleaner looking layout, and it, for me, feels almost empty. I see a lot of scrapbook artists that have a super clean linear look, and I think it's beautiful. Like, it's graphic and it's beautiful, and there's a ton of white space. And when I go ahead and do it, like, I just want more. Always just want more. Anywho, so I went ahead and put some washi in that top cluster as well. I'm just adding little bits to that top cluster, even though it's more of a central layout that I have here. And you see right there, I have wax paper, and I'm going to go ahead and open these alphas. I'm sure I picked them up at Tuesday morning. That's where so many of my alphas come from. And I will go ahead and fast forward to the title part, or having the title down, because it takes me a real long time to get a title on a page. Ta-da, there we have the wonders of film. So my title is Mason Has a Ticket to Ride, and She Don't Care, I think, is the next line in the song. But Mason is a he. He is not a she. So Mason has a ticket to ride. I think I had to add a dot of adhesive on all of that, and I've been using the Nuvo liquid glue for most of that kind of work because I like the little fine nozzle that it has. And so now I am painstakingly cutting out a few of these little label stickers from the Pretty Little Studio Savannah Dreams cut-aparts. And, you know, I go back and forth. Sometimes I cut all of these kind of labels or little bits out. And sometimes I know that I'll have a better chance of using them if I can see them all, you know, at the same time. I don't know. I'm absolutely visual scrapbooker. So I will get a few of these on my page. So let me ask you guys, who else is still working on Janet's 4for4 series? I've seen a ton of people posting what they've done for it. I know I'm late in the game. I've been working on a lot of other fun projects, and I'm just kind of behind on working on this series. And I mean, I'm getting there, but I am behind. But this is the one series that I always like to follow when Janet posts a new one. I did veer off because she did hers as a baby series, but I just didn't have any baby pictures to scrapbook or any of that kind of stuff. So I thought of it as I pulled more of like pretty baby color, spring colors and that kind of thing out with some nice touches of saturated color as well. But I did try to stay a little bit lighter in my color choices and make it more of like a spring 4for4 for me. So I have these, I think these are exclusive stickers, I think, from the Click Kit that I was able, and they're flat, so I was able to just use a few little bits in there. They were included in my kit as well. So I think I'm trying to grab all the itty bitty little hearts off of them. And there you see me tapping along going, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And part of that, it's the good and bad. If I'm working within the confines of a kit, I use so much more of my stash. But I have to kind of stretch myself a little bit, which is always good for us as scrapbookers anyway. I'm going through this little Paige Evans Pink Paisley sticker book. This is the second one I've had of these. And I'm trying to see if anything's going to work, but the color tones are just a little bit off. These puffy stickers right here, I got these from the Take Table at a retreat I went on, and I auditioned them a lot. They're super cute, and puffy stickers are my all-time favorite embellishment for some reason. I just have a thing for that whole tactile, squishy, different feel of puffy stickers. So I'm an avid collector of the little suckers. And I go ahead and cut it down the side because that's what I do with all of my embellishments, letters, everything, so that I can easily access them. Looks like I was able to use one piece from the We Are Memory Keepers side of them. And I have Jilly Bean Soup ones in here. I have, of course, these great ones from the Stargazer collection. And I think, gosh, did I get those from Peachy Cheap? I think I did, like, so long ago in a kit, which is where I pulled the beginning of my kit from, was from that Peachy Cheap kit, I think. You know, the base of it. So clearly these are going to match my kit because it is from the same collection. And it's also kind of funny too. Do you find that you put a kit together and you put all these great things together, but each time you start working with your new collection or kit, you kind of got to get familiar with it. You have to know what's what in your kit. And as you go along scrapbooking with it, it's like an automatic process. You totally know what you want to use and what you want to grab. So I'm popping on some enamel dots. I'm making a bit of an effort to use up packages before I open new packages. I know that makes total sense, but I am trying to make an effort saying, well, it might not be absolutely spot on, but will it work? So I've been doing that a lot more too because I need less packages of things. Now, here's the tricky thing. I keep buying packages of things, but we're not going to talk about that. It's for the good of my channel, right? So I can do some Tuesday morning hauls. So maybe it's benefiting others. So this is a second set of these, I guess, enamel shapes from Chamel that I have had. Those were at Tuesday morning, and I didn't just abandon them there. And I do go ahead and start looking at these great little jelly bean soup puffies. They are fabulous. I think I got a jelly bean soup warehouse box, or whatever they call their grab box, or whatever they call their boxes, right after the holidays, around the holidays. I got way too many warehouse boxes right then, but I think that's where those puffy stickers are from that I was just using. And I do, like, you know, there's certain collections, like Jelly Bean Soup will do it, where they, as well as Pink Fresh, where they have like several of distinct bold colors in their collections. So, you know, you can have an offshoot of using, like, I'll use all of the blue ones from this collection, I'll use all the pink ones from this collection. And it ends up really making it easy on us scrapbookers. So here I'm going ahead and taking a look, and I found this little ephemera piece and die cut ephemera. I really don't know what the difference is in scrapbooking. I see it listed the same way. And I decided to tuck it in and to give my center block there just a little bit more heft, and that way I can journal next to Mason's picture. And right here I am using a new pen that I picked up. It's they're called the friction pens, if I'm saying it correctly, and it's great. This one's like a navy blue one. I have a thing for navy blue, for writing in gray, blah 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 blah. Anyway, the thing is fabulous. I used it for the first time. I'm like, all right, let's see how well it works. Oh, there I'm showing you my little friction pen. And it erases absolutely perfectly. It's pretty cool. Right now we are blurred because I haven't noticed that it needed to refocus after me showing you my handy dandy little pen. Sorry about that. So here I'm putting some Heidi Swap Color Shine in the navy color, which that's just been sitting next to my desk, and I keep reaching for it. The navy keeps working on layouts I've been working on lately. So trying to get some bigger splattery dots in some places. And that's my handy dandy little pizza box I use to catch the overspray, because I always have it. So that ends up coming quite often into my layouts, coming to do a little peekaboo. And that is my Heidi Swap Color Shine in the gold, which is the coveted color. It'll be sad when it's fully gone. But that stuff, the gold somehow does a fab splatter. Like, it really goes on. So let's try not to smear this as we take it out. Okay, everybody, I finished my first layout. We have Mason in his wagon. My title is Mason Has a Ticket to Ride. And it's so great because in this embellishment package, somehow there was a wagon and a little ticket. So the wagon, I chose the picture before I knew there was a wagon in it, and I had decided a while back that I wanted the title to be called Ticket to Ride, and there was a cute little ticket in there, so I guess it was just meant to be. So with these 6x12 pieces right here, I used a corner rounder on those pieces. I also used a corner rounder on this piece, and I think I'm going to do the same right here. I like the idea of continuing it where I can. Let's see if it lets me. There we go. Oh, a little bit. Let's see if I can get in there just a little bit more. Nope, that's about it. Okay, so I use a corner rounder there, and I used these really fun little letters that are escaping. I might have to glue them down in just a second. These little freckled fawn, little skinny little puffy ones. Used these as well as this collection called Memo. They're thickers, chipboard, and they're from 2014. So, kind of fun because they're not a new collection. And the paper is not the newest collection, yet I like it just as much as a collection I bought yesterday. So that's one of the things that's kind of cool about scrapbooking, is that you can pull out some old supplies and have a ball using them. I'm just blotting off some of the excess Heidi Shine because it can take a while to dry sometime. So this is this layout. I'm going to come back shortly with layout number 2 once I figure out what 2 pictures I'm going to use to go with that layout. And that's it for this one. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Leave a comment if you can, because I love hearing from you guys. And I will be back in the next couple days with another layout. So bye-bye all.